Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing another room build, and this one is a little bit different than what I've done before. This is actually a college dorm that I got inspired to do by Spring Sims. Now if you don't know who he is, he's a really good simmer on YouTube, makes lots of builds, does lots of let's plays as well, so I'll leave his channel down below. This isn't a collab or anything, but I would like to collab with him, but this is just an idea by him that I got, and here I'm just going to talk you through what I'm doing. So I'm just going around with making the walls here, trying to do interesting shapes and things like I always try to do. As you can see there on the left, there's my backyard builds thing that I did a while ago. So this is actually one big room for, like, you could live in here. There's everything in this house that you could use to live in, but there's like no doors on it because that would make a separate room and it wouldn't be a room, one big thing. So the bathroom doesn't have a door in it, but I have made it so it's kind of private by adding some more walls in and things like that, but it is just one big room. And this is actually on the gallery now. Just go and search for Thomas Sidney 1, which is my origin ID. This doesn't include any custom content, but you might see during this build that I do put some custom content in, but before I went and put this on the gallery off camera, I did take that out, so you can go and find this a bit more easily. So I started off by putting a half wall in here. I used that a couple of times to this build actually, and as you can see there, I was trying to put that little couple of walls there to make like a little wardrobe sort of thing, but it didn't really work. I went back and it looked like it made it a separate room or something, I don't know, but it ended up in the end working out well. And as you can see there for the bed, I kind of made the room a little bit of a different shape. I liked how I put like windows for all of the walls, and the bed's just kind of in the centre there, stands out a little bit. I just I liked how that looked. So yeah, I'm just trying to find some little end tables I could put in there, but there wasn't really anything that would fit. And as you can see there, I put in one of those wardrobes that have all those different interactions you can do with it. I put that in there. That came with Get Together. Speaking of Get Together, we haven't had an expansion pack in about 7 months now, which is ridiculous. We really need another expansion pack because this game is getting a little bit boring. So I did change the half wall a little bit later. I thought it was a little bit more open than I was thinking of, so did change that around. I also did this house in a little bit of I say house, well it is kind of a house, but this room I did it in a little bit a different type of an order that I would normally do with my builds. I kind of just did things in random orders. Like as you can see, I put the bed in first before decorating the walls and things like that, and I left all like the wall coverings and doing the flooring until last, which was a bit different, and it still worked. Just wanted to try something a little bit different, and it seemed to work well. So this video is a little bit long. It's kind of, I think it was around 20 minutes, which it's a little bit long for a room build, but I hope it isn't too much of a problem for everyone because I'm really happy how this turned out. So yeah, I've got some screenshots at the end as well. So I'm doing this little office space here, and I put a couple of rugs in there, did 2 different tones. I really like doing that overlapping of those little rugs and then doing them 2-toned. I think it looked really nice, and I ended up just leaving that as a half wall there so it's nice and open, and put some of those little pillar things in along the walls, which I did quite a few times in this build actually. I put a little easel in there just as another skill building item because there really wasn't that much to do in this house. I did at the end actually, in that big open space as you can see there, I kind of struggled for a little bit trying to think what I put in there, and I actually ended up putting like one of those foosball tables and a chess table, so the other skill building items. I don't know what the foosball table builds skill on, but I know the logic skill comes with the chess. Anyway, I'm just decorating. I keep messing up. Right, let's just start again. I'm now decorating the walls of the bedroom here. Again, leaving the wall coverings until last, but I'm just filling up the walls with some little posters and things, kind of making them look a little bit messy, as they would if you like putting them up yourself, you know, in college, that sort of thing. Also, I've never like seen a college dorm room before, so I'm not too sure if this looks actually like one or not. It does work, I suppose, but also this is kind of like 49,000 simoleons, which may be a little bit expensive if you're going to college and staying here, but I suppose you could change some things around to make it work. Yeah, so I'm not too sure if this is actually what a college dorm would look like. I'm thinking it wouldn't, but you can leave comments down below what you think of this. So yeah, I put a little mirror there at the door. I think that's something that a lot of people have. I have one in my house where you have a mirror next to the door so you can check your hair or whatever before you leave the house. And then here is where the bathroom is going to be. As you can see, it's open, but I kind of made some walls around it, so it was a little bit more private. As you can see, the toilet's right at the back, and you have to walk quite a way around to get to the toilet, which I quite like because, you know, of that privacy factor. And then again, with the shower, have a wall dividing that from the door. And then I decided to put 2 little cabinets in here for the bathroom counter space. Wait, I just said counter twice. For the sink, I put 2 counters in, and I just put some clutter items on there. I don't know if I did that right now. Yeah, as you can see, it's those toothbrush things, which was custom content, but at the end I did take that out because I thought, you know, not a lot of people are going to be able to find this house just because of that one little item, so I took that out. And as you can see there, I put that little rack next to where the door would be, but when I went in to take the screenshots in that tab view mode, I looked at it and like you would bang your head if you walked into there, so I took that out as well, which you would have seen it's missing at the end of the screenshots. As you can see, I just saved it because I didn't want to risk losing everything, because my game has been crashing sometimes with my recording software. So I just didn't want to risk it and do that. So I'm onto the living room bit here, and just put some plants along that little, not coffee table, but kind of like what would you call that type of table? I don't know. Well, a table. And I put a TV up on the wall, and I really, really like how this living room turned out. Actually, one thing I did with this whole house was actually just do neutral colours, which is something that I don't really do a whole lot, but it is really the only thing I really like. And as you can see, you can't see yet, I mean, a little bit later on, when I do the wall coverings, that wall where the TV on, I do a little kind of like a dark brick for that, like a feature wall type of thing there, which I thought looked nice. Just putting some trophies on there, which I thought might fit in with this type of theme. Also, I didn't mention, kind of like, it's back to school time now, so I thought this was the perfect time to upload this. Also uploading this on a Tuesday, I think, if it goes up tonight. I was really excited to show you this, so I wanted to put it up as soon as possible. And yes, I put those trophies up because it's like college theme. If you get rewards and things, you might want to show them off in your house, so that's nice. I did change the arrangement of those shelves a little bit later on. I'm just putting a little one of those little tablets on the coffee table, which probably wasn't that necessary because I do have a computer, but if you think if a couple of college people are living in this house, then it might be a good idea to have a little tablet as well if somebody is using the computer. Now, as you can see here, I'm changing around the size of the house a little bit because I thought it was a little bit too big. I was kind of worried a little bit about what I could do with that centre bit, which I do figure out towards the end, but at that point there, I decided to make it a little bit smaller to try and I also needed to make a kitchen as well, so needed to make room for that. So I would just change things a little bit around a bit. So now we're on at the kitchen. Again, went with a neutral colour, but then along that wall there where there are 2 cabinets on the fridge, I did like a blue paint just on that little bit. I thought it looked nice, just stands out a little bit. And I did change the size of the kitchen a couple of times because I was thinking, well, I need to put this in, and then I was finished, and then, I forgot this, so I was keep doing that a couple of times. And actually I changed that little half wall a little bit. I think I just put one normal size wall at the end there where that little kitchen wall is. And yeah, so I put the cooker in, the little what are those things called, the air vent things. I put one of those in because I haven't really used one of those in quite a while actually, and I put some of those overhead counter things in, which I'm not really sure if look that good there, I'm not too sure. I also had some trouble trying to find a matching bottom counters to the top counters. I couldn't find the one that actually matched, but I think I got it in the end there. And as you can see there, I was having a little bit of trouble with the walls. The curtains would keep going over the walls on the other side, which was really annoying us, so I tried arranging some other things around just to try and hide that, which I did. Well, as you can see, that's still sticking out, which I do change again in a second. But I think it was only a tiny little bit at the end, which actually still had the little wall, the curtain sticking out the wall, but I covered it up with a painting or something. I really like that wall there, which has all those little posters on, in that little light with the little photos on. That actually came with the kids' room stuff pack, but I thought it would fit in nicely with that as well. Wasn't too sure what to do with that little cabinet area, with that little nook and cranny sort of thing. I don't even know what to call it. That little corner thing. So I just put some kitchen cabinets in there. I'm not too sure if it fit in that well, but it worked. And now I'm going in to find a little rug that I could put in the kitchen. I'm not too sure if rugs would actually go in a kitchen or not. I don't have one in our kitchen here, but I don't know, it just seems a bit open and boring, so I decided to put that in. Well, of course, it does look a bit boring because I don't have any wall coverings or any floor coverings in yet, so that's why it might look a little bit boring. And I actually put a fish tank in there. Now, it's kind of, this house is kind of weird. Some bits are really like modern, some bits a little bit more traditional. It's kind of like a mix of different things. In that, I think that fish tank really was like a nice little feature to modernise everything a little bit more. And actually on that wall, I put that one of those darker brick walls in there as another feature wall, which I liked, like I did with the TV wall. And here we are putting in some more little clutter items. We're kind of at the stage now where we've put all the main things in, and there really isn't a whole lot more that I could do, just apart from filling the spaces up with clutter. So that's what I'm doing here, and I went through a couple of times trying to find something that I liked. I ended up putting those clothing things out there, but then I realised, well, it kind of, I suppose it works in a way of that being in the hallway and just hanging up your coat quickly in the hallway, as you know some houses do. But then at the same time I thought, well, it's kind of a lot there, so I actually put that in as I think I actually took, no, as you can see, I have the wardrobe, but also had another little area right there. So I kind of have two wardrobes there, which, you know, I'm not too bothered about. It's fine having two wardrobes, isn't it? I suppose if this is a college dorm, then there might be a couple of friends living here, so having two wardrobes might be a good idea. So yeah, I just moved those items over there and changed the colours up of them a little bit so they're not all the same. And yeah, just putting some random things in there. And also I was trying to find a little curtain to put across that, because it wasn't actually a room, it wouldn't work. So I don't know, I saw Steven do this, Spring Sims, I saw him doing this in his build the other day, and I'm like, how did you do that? And I don't know, it just wouldn't work for me, so it's kind of open. So I put those pillars in instead, and it works just as well, I think. So now, again, we're just going around putting decorations in, just some paintings and things. Really isn't a whole lot more to do, apart from just messing around putting some things in. I'm trying in this video not to go off topic talking. I kind of want to stick to the main focus of this video, because, well, I'm doing it now, and I'm trying to stop myself from doing it, but I always go off topic in my videos about random things, which I try to stop myself from doing, but, you know, sometimes it just, you know, if there's not a lot going on screen, it might be a good idea to do that. So yeah, also another thing, I know I just did my 400 subscriber Q&A that came up a couple of, maybe last week I think it was, and thank you everybody for 400 subscribers, and I think that was a little bit late because I'm now pretty close to 500 subscribers, which I don't really know how, so thank you for everybody who's been subscribing. I could have waited until 500 subscribers to do that Q&A, but I could do another one sometime. Anyway, we're just back in now doing the wall coverings. I also realised, like, at the end, I'm thinking, this room seems a little bit dark, and I was like thinking, what could it be? I tried to put some more lights in and things, and I realised I barely have any windows in this house. So at the end, I went back and added in some little windows. In the bathroom, I kind of did those little tiny ones that go along the top of the walls around the bathroom. I did that. I thought they fit in nicely. It's kind of like a bit more private, and there wasn't really any curtains for them, but you know, it still worked fine. So, I'm just going around doing some little final touches now. As you can see, my camera's just moving around and around just to make sure I've got everything in. And really, all that was really left to do was paintings. As you can see there, I did that on purpose, doing two different frame colours. I kind of regretted doing that. I went into the colour swatches to try and find a different colour, thinking that the image would actually change, but both of those paintings have the same image on them, which I kind of regret doing now, but it's fine, they do have different frame colours. So now we're on to the bedroom bit, just going around with the wall coverings, and by this being all one room, I had to drag the wall coverings along individually, which was a bit annoying, but it's kind of a small place, so wasn't too much of a problem. And when putting them two coloured paintings in there, I do change to some windows at the end of the video. I'm not too sure if I actually do that on camera or not, but I think you would see it in the screenshots. And as you can see there, I'm doing that bit there with the chess table and the football table in the middle. Just thought those would fit in nicely with this theme. I would imagine that would be something that college people would do. I don't know, that sounds weird, but you know, it just fit nicely, I thought. And now we're going in again with the floor coverings for the bathroom, as I did just hold down shift and do it, but because it's all one room I had to go in and change the bathroom one, which was fine. I decided to do tiling for those. The walls were a little bit darker, so I went with a lighter flooring for the bathroom. And now I'm going in with the lights. Now what I always do, I use those little circle ones because they light up the room really nicely, but I feel like I use them all the time too frequently. So I try to switch the lights up a little bit, use a couple of different... I did use those little circle lights sometimes, but I added some more like floor lamps in and things like that, as well as some different... ceiling lights as well. So now I'm going back into the bedroom to add some more cluttering on top of that dresser, which is kind of unnecessary because I do have a wardrobe, a fake wardrobe, and that dresser, so I don't know, it still looks fine. And as you can see, I changed that custom content item there, so it would be more easy to find for a lot of you who don't have the custom content item checked in the gallery. And then I'm doing those windows like I said I would just before, those little ones. I really, really like them. I thought I went a little bit overkill with them, but I don't know, they're kind of small, so it doesn't really matter. And I meant they're going in with the windows. I felt like I was using those ones which are like plain, as you can see in front of the computer. I had that type of window in, which is just a big open one, which I did try to stay away with, but then at the end I thought, oh, there really isn't anything that fitted well with that, because it is a room and I don't have any foundations on anything, so it looks a little bit different than a house build, so it was kind of hard to decide what I want to do with windows. I suppose you could make this into a house. Like I said, it is the price of probably a normal house. It is only one bedroom, which is a little bit pricey, but you know, you could add some landscaping in and a roof and could make it into a little house. So now on to the screenshots. I'm at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, you can go onto the gallery to go and download this for yourself. Like I said before, make sure you go over to Spring Sims' YouTube channel to see his back to school playlist. Actually, he's doing a couple of videos for back to school. And that's it. Leave a like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye!